Comfortable the second week coming in?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first few days were kind of a whirlwind, getting everything down, getting the timing down. Much more comfortable after having the first off day and being able to kind of review the first few installs. And, just to, the more bonding and the more camp time you have, the better you get to know your teammates. So it's feel a lot better from day one, that's for sure. And, hoping to keep striving and making each step each day and moving forward.
Matt said that he reiterated really that he can't be fair with the reps, but to be just, like we talked about last week. Have you felt that that's been the case?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, everything's extremely transparent. They're telling us exactly how they're handling it, and it's not being said to one person and Sam's hearing another thing. It's right in front of us, and so it's clear and concise.
How would you evaluate your grasp of the playbook so far?
I mean, for me, it's obviously not second nature yet, but trying to make those steps to where you learn the reads well enough to where it's just reaction to get through your progressions and knowing where to go when it's different coverages. So, last week was definitely a little bit slower than I would like to be, but I think that's to be expected. So, looking to make those steps this week when there's some repeated calls and concepts and continue to get better.
How's it getting a groove when you're alternating that many reps back to 4 and out and 4 and out? How's that been for you?
That's just something that you just have to deal with in camp. Camp's so much different than a game, so it's just normal practice. You got to be able to take yourself through every single mental rep, even if you're not in. Take yourself through what you'd be doing based on coverage, based on what the defense is giving you. So, there's can't complain because everybody's having to do that. Nobody's in a rhythm. You're getting pulled one way, and so just take advantage of each moment. Each play is an opportunity, and even if you're not in, you can learn from it.
Baker, you find you're still at a point where you're thinking out there more than you will once this is second nature?
Yeah, no, that's definitely, I think, for last week especially, the first few installs are extremely heavy to kind of get this base of the offense down, the foundation. So for me, last week was about more taking care of the ball and getting everything down, communicating correctly, over-communicating, making sure everybody's on the same page, and now it's really time to put it all together and go play.
Baker, take us through like a day down here for you, like as you're trying to kind of catch up, I guess, really with the playbook. I mean, like, what are you doing? What is your schedule from morning to night? How much are you all football?
I mean, it's all ball. That's why I love doing camp offsite. And I think, coming down here to Wofford, I think it's a great opportunity for everybody to get to know each other too. But it's strictly ball. No distractions. You come down here to learn and grow and get to know your teammates. But for me, it's study a little extra in the mornings, get up, fit my workouts when I can after practice. But when it comes to when I have downtime, it's go time. Looking at plays, making sure that I'm communicating. If I have any questions, and like looking over stuff by myself in the mornings to where I can go into meetings, and it's not the first time I'm seeing it. So I'm hearing that communication. If I have questions, I can bounce that off the coaches, and just that transparency and communication that we're talking about. It's everybody's hearing the same language.
Hey Baker, today Sue Robinson. Hi, how are you?
How are you?
So today Sue Robinson announced that her decision is for Deshaun Watson to have a 6-game suspension, and under the theory that quarterbacks like to go up against their former team, and presumably if you are the starter for week 1, what are your thoughts on that matchup likely now being with Jacoby Brissett manning the offense as opposed to Deshaun?
That honestly is none of my business. I don't play against the other quarterback. I know it's the most cliche thing to say, but that's just the truth. When it comes down to it, I'm game planning against their defense. And if I'm playing or not, I'm trying to help this team win. And that's my mindset going into it, so I got to keep getting better. But I'm not focused about week 1 right now. Just working on each day, each install, and continuing to get better. And we'll handle that when it comes. But for now, it's about getting the Panthers better and our offense continuing to get better as well.
How helpful has it been? Just for due diligence, and I totally understand you're not with that team anymore. Just to be clear, any specific thoughts on the fact that he was given 6 games when you were the former starter of that team?
No, I'm paid to play quarterback and lead this team, and not to make decisions on anything other than that.
Baker, how helpful has it been to have Rashard Higgins here going through this new experience with you? It looks like you guys still got that chemistry that you had in Cleveland, scoring that red zone touchdown today.
Yeah, for me, learning the first few installs, especially when guys are kind of on their own schedule, he's also trying to continue to learn and grow in this offense as well. So just if I have a couple questions here and there bouncing off of him, like, hey, is this similar to this concept? But we're also trying to get rid of the old terminology and learn so we're speaking that same language as everybody else, so there's no confusion at all. But yeah, he's been extremely helpful, and obviously we've been friends for a long time, so it's great to have him here.
You mentioned
With all that you're having to get acclimated with here, what is slowing down the most for you right now so far?
I think at first, when you call plays, you're just generally trying to picture the whole play and concept. And now, after the first few days of practice, it's all coming together. Knowing my reads, knowing exactly the timing of everything, and knowing how Coach McAdoo wants it done. And that's really the biggest thing for me. Is I'm not just hearing plays and going, okay, take care of the ball, go through this read. I'm hearing the play and I'm understanding why Coach McAdoo's calling it and what he wants to get accomplished.
You mentioned getting to know some of your guys down here, getting to know the team. Any characters stick out to you? Learn about anybody in particular?
Tommy Tremble, he's unique. I think that was the one thing I was forewarned about, and he hasn't disappointed yet. He's great.
I mean,
I'm not giving up.
We need more than that.
No, he's animated. He's a good guy.
When you look back at film and you're assessing your play through training camp so far, what are the things that you're liking about this process?
Besides the one turnover last week, taking care of the ball for the most part, on that play I had the wrong drop, and that's simple things that I can fix, and I know that's very fixable. So doing that, and then I don't know, just grasping everything pretty quick. I'm happy with that, but there's so much room to grow. So I wouldn't say I'm satisfied with any of it so far. There's just so much room to go, and ready for it.
Baker, kind of back along the lines of getting acclimated to the team. Austin Corbett, y'all were rookies together in Cleveland. Whenever you got signed here, he was excited on Instagram. Being reunited. What's it been like being with him? Even off the field and getting used to him?
No, it's great to have Corby here. Obviously, coming into the league, we're wide-eyed and not really knowing how to handle things. He's been great. Obviously, he went out to LA and got himself a ring. So I think, through the ups and downs of him getting traded and then having some success there in LA and being around some great veterans and learning, and I had the same thing, just being around different guys. There's a lot of learning opportunities. So being able to come back together and talk about the experiences, and that's when it comes down to that, he knows exactly what my motives are, what I want to do, and it's all about football and winning. And that's great to have that similarity to where he can communicate that to where if anybody has any questions, since I'm the new guy here, he can kind of be another messenger for me. And they were all on the same page trying to win games.
Baker, along those lines, how would you describe what the reception has been for you here, both from fans and teammates?
Unbelievable. From teammates and everybody, it's been completely awesome. It's just like zero complaints. Players, staff, everybody's been so welcoming. Made this transition extremely easy with how last minute it was. And when it comes to the Carolinas, they've been great to Emily and I, and that's been so welcoming because it's there's no manual on how to make this transition easier, but everybody's made it as easy as possible for us, and we're truly appreciative of that.
Baker, what made you decide to trash talk, text Shaq and Dante before training camp even started?
You don't pick out the weak links, you go straight for the head. We'll see.
How's Shaq's trash talking?
He needs work. He needs work. Now, D-Jack just continues to talk, so I don't know if it's just trash talk or if he's just talking every single day. But no, those guys are so much fun to be with. When you have a defense like that has so many leaders and competitors, that elevates everybody around you. So you got to match that competition level. You got to match that intensity, and you can bring the best out in each other. Now, you got to be smart while you do it. You got to still do your job first and foremost, but you can have fun while doing it. That's what this game's all about.
Steve, let's wrap up with you. Now that you've had a chance to get into Ben's playbook, is it how would you compare that to what you had in Cleveland? Is it more intense? Is it different, or is it just what?
Yeah, I had a few offenses there in Cleveland. Now this one is really clear and concise on what we want to get accomplished. There's an extreme base foundation of what we're starting with, but then there's also similar answers to how we want to attack teams. If we have one play called, everybody's going to know what we're going to get to based on a certain coverage or front or blitz and those things. So I love it. The way Coach McAdoo installs it, he does it all himself. He's the one giving every single pointer. If there's any questions, all the coaches are also reiterating what he's saying. And this offense is one of those that everybody's going to be on the same page. And when you can do that and you have all 11 on the same page, great things happen. And I'm thankful to have that after bouncing around a little bit in different offenses, and to have this one, it's a good one for me.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Baker.